Greetings, everyone. My name is Judge, and welcome to the official first video of my channel. Now, as the description says, this is my introduction into Vedic astrology. What is Vedic astrology? For one, y'all probably already know what the word astrology means. This is the study of the cosmos, the stars, the planets, zodiac. You probably heard it all. But it's the type of astrology that I'm going to be discussing with you. Vedic is an ancient culture, which are known as the Vedas also. And they migrated from the African regions into South India, mainly South India. And they brought with them ancient knowledge, which comes from the stars. This is way before any other astrology that you possibly have heard of. The reason why I choose Vedic astrology, because here in the Western America, there's a term which is called the zodiac or Western astrology. And there's a major difference. One, Western astrology follows the tropics of the sun. In Vedic astrology, they follow the stars and the constellations. And there's always been a debate between which one is more accurate. You can have your opinions on it, but from what have I experienced and from what my clients experience, Vedic astrology is far more accurate. And this is why I study, follow, and teach this. Throughout my journey, this started 5 years ago for me. In 2016, there was an awakening that happened to where something has to change within me spiritually. So it came to me in the forms of a rabbit hole. It kept leading me down all these different paths. And what I realized with astrology, I've always thought it was just a zodiac sign. People would ask me, what's your sign? I would always say Aries, because I was born April 4th. And I came across websites, mainly astro.com. And it says, figure out your natal chart. And I asked myself, what is a natal chart? So they gave me a description, date, birth, and time. I said, time? Oh, that's interesting. And coincidentally, I knew the time I was born. I've always paid attention to my birth certificate, and it said that time. So when I implemented my time, it says, congratulations, you are a Libra ascendant. And I had that look on my face, Libra ascendant. So I started studying about being what Libra means and everything, and stereotypes and celebrities of Librans. After 2 months, I tried to come to grasp with that, and it says, no, I don't feel like a Libra. I'm not very fair-minded. I'm pretty critical. I'm binary when it comes to certain things. So I was listening to this blog, and he was talking about come in and do some live readings. It was on Blog Talk Radio. And there was this brother that was hosting the show, and he had callers to come in, mention their birth time and place and etc. But there was this one woman that asked an interesting question. She asked, are you referring to my Western chart or my Vedic chart? And I said, okay, what's a Vedic chart? So my analytical mind was telling me, research Vedic charts or Vedic astrology. And it has a lot of Hindu origins, Indian origins. I said, wow, okay. So I went to a website and I looked at my Vedic chart, and now it says I'm Kanya Lagna. I said, now we're cooking. I found my home. I could relate totally to Kanya Lagna. And for those that don't know what Kanya is, that's Virgo, by the way. And Lagna means ascendant. So from that point on, I was totally convinced this is my path. Now, when I came off into Vedic astrology, it was a hobby of mine. My bride Gigi can tell you that's all I do. Intense research, analytical, gaming, and studies. But then she started telling me, Judge, you should start, this should be a source of living for you. You should start teaching. I said, no, that can't be right. Judge, I'm serious. This is what my bride Gigi would tell me. You should really pursue this. And now that I know that I'm a Kanya Lagna, get real hesitant, nervous at times, but I had to step out on faith, realize my own potential. And I looked at other placings in my chart to understand why I'm so hesitant to do things. And I said, that makes sense. And then it wasn't just with my chart. I also learned the house system, or the Baba, the Baba chart. And man, this is just an introduction into what's to come. I'm going to be teaching all of this so you can know who you are. It led me down so many things. So when I finally decided to do this professionally, it was scary at first, but then I found my ebb and flow, and it worked out. That's why I'm starting this channel. It's been a good 5-year journey for me, and I'm ready if you are as well. So here's what we're going to be covering as we go forward. Vedic teachings, Sanskrit, knowing the Rashis. For those that don't know Rashis, those are the signs. I don't have to name all 12, but I'll do it just because you have your Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And in Sanskrit, it's pronounced Mesha, Vrishaba, Mithuna, Karkata, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishika, Dhanus, Makara, Kumbha, and Meena. All right. And we're going to also be covering the 9 grahas. Grahas are the planets. Now, we're going to, for those who don't understand, in Vedic astrology, sun and moon are planets because they're celestial beings. They're luminaries that we see in the cosmos. Altogether, there's 9, and I'm going to go over those with you. You have the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. Those that are familiar with Western astrology, Rahu and Ketu are known as the nodes of the moon. And I'm going to also be covering that, what the nodes of Rahu and Ketu also means. In Sanskrit, sun is Surya, moon is Chandra, Mercury is Bud, Venus is Shukra, Mars is either Kuja or Mangal, Jupiter is Guru, Saturn is Shani, just so you know. Rahu and Ketu are the actual language. English terms, you could call it north node, south node of the moon. Now, in modern day Vedic astrologers, some will include the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But the ancient sages did not. The reason why, because they weren't that close to us, yet they weren't even known at the time. If you were to include Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they will affect generations, because Pluto takes 248 years to cycle. Neptune around 168 years, and Uranus 84. There's a famous celebrity comedian novelist who's no longer with us, the late, great Dick Gregory. He lived to be exactly 84 years. And when I looked at the great late Gregory's chart, he passed away on his Uranus return. And when you understand Uranus, that's a full, complete life cycle. That means something brand new, something that's about to manifest that we have no preparation for. Anybody that lives to be 84 years, they impacted the world. That's why I mentioned Dick Gregory when it comes to Uranus return. So I may reference the 3 outer planets, but when it comes to deep sourcing of your soul and your chart, I will not, out of respect for my predecessors, the teachers and the gurus before me. There's so much I want to cover in this first video. I want to teach you about the Vimshottari Dasha systems. I want to teach you about yogas, combinations, predictions, what planets do, aspects, everything. I'm so excited just talking about it. I know you will be as well. Vedic astrology is the way, because when you look into the sky, if you see the moon or if you see the sun in a particular location, that's exactly where it is. You don't need a telescope for the cosmos to communicate to you. It's right there. The grahas are big enough for you to see. Saturn is so far out, he still makes himself known to you. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they cannot be seen with the naked eye. That requires telescope, but there's a reason why you can't see them. You don't need to see them. You need to see the 7 that are right in front of you. Sun through Saturn. Rahu and Ketu are nodes. They're shadow points, but they still have its significance. They're the causation of lunar and solar eclipses. I'm going to be covering that all as well, but I'm just giving you an epilogue here. There's so much to cover. I'm going to be talking about Gemini, KP, astrology, Navamsas, the harmonic charts, lots of groundwork, the nakshatra systems, the alphabets of Vedic astrology. We're going to be covering all 28. Some say 27, if you exclude that one, which is Abjit. So here's what I suggest. Tune in. I'm going to be having videos throughout the week on different levels, because this is what you should know. So this is my introduction to Vedic astrology. We have a lot to cover. Please subscribe, hit that bell, because we got a lot of groundwork to cover together. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in, all of my friends in the East, and those that are here at home with me in the West. My shout out goes to you. It's time to find out who we are, everyone. It is time. Until next time, be blessed, everyone.